Kia ora, good morning. Literally just woke up like 5 minutes ago. But I need to document this dream I had. I'm still waking up. I just made a coffee. I'm sitting here with my eyes closed still because I just woke up a few minutes ago. But I had the most incredible dream. I keep being shown my future. It's like, I was saying the other day, I'm being shown step by step by step by step what to do, how everything's going to go in the future. Well, this was another one. So remember the dream I had the other day about the hotels, right? And in the first dream, I pulled up in a Rolls Royce to my hotel that I owned. And I was staying there on like opening night weekend or something, and there were all those people staying and all those excited young men. And remember, I said there was a man standing there and he elbowed his friend and he said, I'm going to marry that woman, right? Well, he was in this dream. And what happened was the dream, it was, I pulled up to this house and went to the front door, knocked on the front door, and it just opened. Like it just swung open. No one answered it, it just swung open. And I walked inside, and there was this man in a bed, that man, the man from that dream. He was in a bed in the living room, the bedroom, not that he turned the living room into the bedroom, but he had a bed in the living room. And it was like a normal living room, but he had a bed in there. I'll explain it in a minute. And he goes, oh, hey, babe. And I said, here, this is for you. And I handed him a bag. And he was like, oh, my God, awesome. He said, this is so great. And I went to stand beside him, like I walked round to the side of the bed and handed him the bag. And he opened it up. And there was a paper bag. And he opened that up. And there was a burger and fries in it, and a drink. So I'd delivered him food. I'd bought him food. And in the dream, I knew it was food fairy deliveries. Like I knew I was there to deliver him food, but I wasn't working. I wasn't working for my own company. It's just the packaging and everything on the outside said food fairy deliveries. But when he opened it up and pulled the burger and all of that out, it was Circus Fair, from the Circus Fair Burger House. Now, I was never planning on letting people get takeaways. I wasn't planning on turning it into like a takeaway place. I was only planning on having the burger house in the foundation. And yeah, like a restaurant. I wasn't planning on letting it be like a takeaway place. So now I know. But anyway, he was like, I've been looking forward to this all day. And he goes, just so you know, this is going to do really well here. And he was like, just like the way he said it, he goes, just so you know, this is going to do really well here, like that. And then he took a bite of the burger and he was like, oh, he goes, your burgers, babe, your burgers. And then he took a sip of the milkshake, because we're not going to do Coke and Sprite and Fanta and that. We're going to do milkshakes and juice. And it's all sugarless, right? And he took a sip of the milkshake and he goes, your strawberry milkshakes, he said, I could live on these all day. He goes, the protein. And then next thing I know, him and I are walking hand in hand along a beach, and there's like, I don't know, I've never seen a beach with mangroves before, but there they were. I don't know, I mean, there must be, right? But we were walking along a beach, and where the mangroves and all that were, there were these kids playing on the beach. All they were all different skin types. They were like Asian and African American and white. and like Indigenous and that, and their parents were, you know, off sitting, having like a little barbecue together, and I jumped down and I ran over to them and jumped on my knees in the sand, and I was playing with all the little toy cars with them, and you know, making all the sounds and noises and that, and people were like, the kids just thought it was wonderful, and I was making up stories about what the cars and buses and trucks and stuff were doing. And then he goes, okay, it's time to wake up. He said, you've got work to do. And I was like, ugh. So then I sort of, as I stood up, I started waking up, and then it went white, and here I am. So basically, because the front door opened, the house obviously represents you and how you see yourself at the time of the dream. But it was his house, which means because his bedroom is in the living room, it means that he's someone who's on full display. And because the door opened by itself, it means that he's calling me to him. He's drawing me in, because doors and windows in dreams are your conscience, right? And because the door opened on its own, it means it's an open invitation to go to him. It's an open invitation. He's drawing me to him, and I'm bringing him deliveries. I'm delivering things to his conscious mind, because the living room is basically where you're entertained. I'm delivering things to his conscious mind that he's finding exciting and tasty, like Moorish. He's somebody who I'm giving him things that's like feeding his soul, and he's wanting more and more and more and more and more, and he can't get enough of it. Because protein, you know, is one of the most healthiest things for us to put inside our bodies. So much food is full. God, it's because I'm still trying to wake up. So much food is full of protein, and he was talking about protein, and protein doesn't just feed the body, but it feeds the brain as well. And protein on the brain is it helps you with your memory and your creativity, and it coats your brain with the healthy kind of fats so that you don't get it protects you from things like dementia, right? So and because I know my milkshakes, because I make my milkshakes all the time, and I know my burgers, and I know the burgers I want to do, and it was showing me the packaging of what my packaging was going to look like, and he called it the Circus burger. So now I know what the packaging is to look like, and what I'm clearly being told is your burgers and fries and milkshakes are going to do really well in America. People are going to not be able to get enough of them, like they're going to do really well, and that I need to be able to sell them as a takeout and not just in a restaurant. So let people do orders and take them away. And with our food ferry delivery service, within a certain mile radius of the foundation, and that, let people get them delivered to their houses and stuff. I don't know how that would be possible, considering where I want to build my foundation in upstate New York. I don't know how close the nearest towns and all that are going to be, but I mean, I certainly would. However, I get the feeling like he was implying that the Circus Burger, you know, Circus Fair Burger House, or the Circus Burger House, might become like a chain store, you know, like KFC and Burger King and all that. Like, it's like he was saying, you're onto something with these burgers and fries and drinks. And I know, my milkshakes, and my milkshakes are very, very, very loved in my house. I've been making milkshakes for decades. We may have been poor growing up in New Zealand, but the one thing we did have was a soda stream that we got for Christmas and a milkshake maker. So I've been making milkshakes since I was 9 or 10 years old. And people, when they come here, they always ask for my milkshakes and my mango milkshakes. Remember I was talking about the mangroves. I know that mangoes don't grow on mangroves, but yeah. So I'm wondering if the mangroves are talking about old roots, old ties to the old ways. Remember when you were a kid and you used to make really nice milkshakes? I used to even make them for my friends and family and that because they loved the way I made my milkshakes. And he loved my strawberry milkshake. So, yeah, so basically, whoever he is, I'm bringing things to his table that he can't stop eating, which means that he's inviting me in to feed his mind and feed his soul, and he can't get enough. He wants to, he takes a bite out of everything that I'm offering him, and in return, he's saying, you need to turn this into a chain of burger joints. I might, obviously, when I have the restaurant, you know, with my because it's going to be like our circus burgers and that. Remember, I said I'm going to do ribs and I'm going to do like loaded fries and nachos and all of that sort of thing. Basically, just hot dogs, different kind of hot dogs and that you can eat with your hands. And need a lot of tissues for. You know, not really where you need knives and forks, really. But I think I'm being told that my burgers and that are obviously going to do so well that I need to consider opening stores and having Circus burger stores, like maybe start with one and then see how that goes, you know, like Five Guys and all that. And then I think basically what it's saying is that I'm going to open a store outside of the foundation and it's going to do really well and I'm maybe going to have them all over America. And I think America would love my burgers and fries and that because it's all going to be healthy. There's not going to be any sugar. And I know how to present my fries, like people like my fries too because of what I do to them. The seasoning and stuff, but it's all healthy. There's no sugar. It's all the healthy kind of fats and that's the thing. I live on my burgers and fries and milkshakes, and I live on them, and yet I'm still losing weight. I've I'm yeah. I've only got a little bit to tighten up now, and I can do that through walking and swimming. So my food, my supernatural foods, because my burger, basically anything I sell, food and drink wise, other than the stuff that's on the naughty and nice list, the naughty stuff will have sugar in it, but all the nice stuff of my supernatural foods, it's all going to be part of the my supporting weight loss and healthy living, and we'll grow all our own fruits and vegetables, and you know we'll be our own supplier. I'll have my own contract with a dairy farm and be my own supplier. And, you know, I want to have very strict guidelines as to, you know, how our cows are looked after, how our cows are looked after, and our chickens and all of that. They'll be treated like royalty because we're not going to slaughter anything. So, yeah, so that was the dream. So whoever he is going to be a big fan of my. I was calling it Circus Fair because it's obviously the the museum side of it is circuses and fairs. You know, from the freak show circuses and the freak show sideshow fairs and all that. But in the dream it was just Circus burger. But I could still see the packaging of, the packaging that the burger came in, and the milkshake and the fries and all that. I can still see it. So he was like, more, give me more. Couldn't get enough of it. So that was the dream. So now I know I'm being told my burger house is going to do really well. And I need to let people get them delivered to their house from Food Fairy Deliveries. Obviously, if I have a store, a Circus Burger store, Food Fairies, the delivery drivers will be attached to that. They'll work there. So, yeah, so there we go. So the man in my dream, the man in the moon, just told me where my future was going with burgers and what I need to do. And the playing with the kids and on the beach and the mangroves and stuff like that, I think is just basically reminding me of the food I used to eat as a child. The food I used to make as a child is going to end up making me a lot of money. So there you go. I mean, because I used to make fudge and coconut ice and toffee and Russian fudge, and that's all stuff that I'm going to be selling at Candy Corner. That's on the naughty list. That's not on the nice list, because there'll be a naughty and nice menu, and then you can decide if you want to be a little bit naughty or if you want to be full way nice. So I've got one item on my going to hell list, and that's my Scottish tablet. Even the boy said, "This you have to make a separate category on your naughty and nice list just for Scottish tablet, and it needs to be you're going to hell," because there's like nearly a kilo of sugar in the recipe. So anyway, so that's I'm going to have my coffee and start waking up properly, and just I was not expecting that, but because doors are opening for me now, both consciously and physically, like I'm nearly there. I've got 1 foot out the door. I've got 1 foot on UK soil, and I think I'm just about to lift off and step right into America, because America seems to be beckoning me now in my dreams, and I'm being shown step by step by step by step. So now I need to get my burger house, my circus burger. That needs to be another big thing that has to be built pretty quickly. So there you go. So I'll need to get like food licenses, and I'm going to need a really good lawyer that makes sure that I get all the permits and planning and everything's up to scratch. When we have our the health inspector and that comes to do, I want my restaurants and my food places and that to be spotless every single day, with or without the food inspector there. I will not have the humiliation of being told we failed. So there we go. I'll have my own food inspector, and they can go around making sure that our fruit and vegetables don't have any bacteria or anything on it, like that bloody lettuce outbreak that's going on right now. The Trump pandemic. So I'm going to go. So now I wasn't expecting that, but now I'm really excited. I will speak to you later, and I will be employing the best burger chefs that can do like maybe that's why it was the Mangroves in that for doing ribs and all of that. Maybe they're going to be from Southern America, Southern America, you know, like the southern states. Because I've eaten all over America and nobody does food like chicken and burgers and ribs and all of that, like, and oh my God, the chicken and the tacos and all that. Nobody does them like they do it down south. So maybe I'm going to be employing cooks and that from the south end of America to come and work for us in New York. Because, man, they know about flavours. Them Southern Americans, when it comes to flavouring food and that, nobody does it better. So maybe I'm going to be getting them from like Louisiana, and I'd have to go on a scouting mission and then headhunt. So anyway, that was it. I'm going to go. So the man of my dreams is, yeah, there we go. Speak to you later. Ka kite.